Hello, and welcome to Talking Skritt. I can't do it anymore. I'm your host, John, better known as Dale around the X-Band. We have a fantastic show for you. The Inner Ring at PAX West lets us in on the burning news of the week. WvW Skirmishes make their debut, and we found where Colin is at, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. Good, I got the camera right, because we are low on people. He writes over on his blog, agegaming.wordpress.com, where he answers the age-old question, are the rest really missing, or did I remove them so I could talk all the lore? Say hello to Age.
The answer is no, because one, as someone said in chat, Dale would be deprived of Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds jokes if Mel Lance was gone, and Arlie can't be here because story stuff. So, yeah.
Way to blow that out of the water. Oh, I didn't turn all that stuff off. I was really excited doing that intro and worried that I was literally crouched at the side of my desk.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing. I'm like...
Yeah, for the record, he didn't know. I kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. All right. All right, so let's jump right into it. Well, if you haven't been listening, this past week we there was slight info at PAX in the form of no one could tell us, so we really couldn't really talk much about it last week. I mean, I for the record, we didn't know, but we heard, people talking about things they couldn't talk about, in the sense of, we can't talk about this. But we can now. This past week on, I believe, Tuesday was the embargo period, or the NDA period. I think MMORPG was the first one that brought out an article, but there was a slew of other ones, which we'll get bits and pieces from other ones. Looks like Living World Season 3. We're getting episode 2, and that'll be on September 20th. So not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. A lot sooner than what people were thinking with the whole 2 to 3 month wondering. So awesome. But probably what's getting most people excited, we are going to the Ring of Fire. Which, for people that don't know, the Ring of Fire was basically the last place you would go to in Prophecies, Guild Wars 1. Kind of a big moment for Prophecy players. We'll kind of get into the spoiler stuff of possibilities that could happen on the Ring of Fire, but let's take a look that some of the important stuff to note that the article on MMORPG.com did say that we were going to Ember Bay. Now there was I think Ember Campment, I think. So that might be the same place. It might just be, it's been 250 years. It could have easily, been something else. Yeah. But I think they do note in there that it has been 250 years, landmass has probably changed, and I mean, you could think about it. If Lion's Arch got, flooded, who knows what happened here? I mean, with the rise of Zaitan and Ore, and possibly what Bubbles or any of the other dragons did.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's probably gonna feel the same, but be very different at the same time. But so it's gonna be reminiscent of like 250 years ago, but still be different today for us players who have played both Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be definitely a good time. And there's ley lines all over the place, so.
Yeah, I think they've stressed it. They stressed it with episode 1, and they stressed again with episode 2. Definitely have your ley line gliding to make things easier, they said. And they're also going to have a second tier of ancient magic, which was introduced in episode 1. But it's thermal propulsion to get around, which the people are speculating it works kind of like New Hawk Wallows, which will just kind of instantly teleport you. I've also heard some people saying like jumping mushrooms, but so it definitely seems like it's almost similar in both mechanics. Who knows? But they did say it was going to cost 3 mastery points, so have those ready and lined up. And I'm assuming it's going to be, if it's involving the ancient magic, it's probably going to use the Heart of Thorns mastery points. So make sure you have
Yeah.
3 of those ones, which are the green ones, if you're in game and looking. Also, oh boy, a new jumping puzzle by Josh Foreman. And if you don't know who that is, if you know about the Halloween clock tower, he did a lot of the jumping puzzles, but he's made some of the more intense ones, like were like
Basically,
his
the ones that
babies.
make you want to cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah,
If you've ever had that feeling after doing jumping puzzle, it was probably him.
yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I hope everybody enjoys that. I'm probably gonna be crying a lot. Yeah, chat's also saying Skritt Scramble. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he was also kind of like the guy that started Super Venture Box. So there's good and there's bad. All of
Tribulation
them are
Road
fun,
again.
but on the rage meter, there's gonna be some good ones and some bad ones. So can't wait to find out where it falls on that one. It is important to note on Reddit, ArenaNet Frosty did confirm the Bloodstone achievements will not go away, and Unbound Magic is actually a season-wide currency, not just a map-wide currency. So you will continue to be able to go to Bloodstone Fen still and do the other new season 3 content. So it all lumps together,
Mm,
which is nice to know.
yeah. And it's for Unbound Magic because, everything's going crazy with, like, magic going all over the place. So it kind of makes sense it's a season-wide currency. Hmm.
Yeah. Some interesting things we were pulling out of the MMORPG article. They're saying hearts are returning, but interestingly, in the form of what looks like, as they call them, repeatable daily hearts, and they have plenty of reward tied to doing them. So what sounds like to me is it's almost a cross between other games' daily quests and heart things. So whether heart and this is me just pulling both half and half. You have a hard quest that allows you to do 3 different tasks. You can do that on a daily basis. Now, how do you feel that from just that level of 3 tasks every day? Would you like personally for
Um,
me, I'd like to almost see him rotate out, but
so I am a little skeptical about this line in the article just because hearts, we have done them. They reward a little bit of karma, a little bit of money, which is fine. But it's not really a plenty of rewards type of thing. It's more like you complete this, you get a bit of XP, get a bit of karma, get a bit of rewards, and you unlock an NPC. So it's going to be interesting to see how different these hearts are going to be. And the daily part is actually something that makes me wonder how they're going to do it because as they included the Bloodstone Fen dailies in the last patch, and that was actually good. It was actually gives you good rewards. You could trade in Bloodstone rubies from a magic, so you can get extra rewards, or you can get ascended stuff, which is really nice. However, I'm kind of a little bit worried if they add dailies in every living story patch and just how much of a daily it's going to be. Because if it is if it's a daily that is lucrative, then I'm probably going to do it, and I'm probably not the only one who's thinking like that. So right now every day I do like Flax Farm, regular daily, Bloodstone Fen daily. I do the actual dailies for the achievement points, and you get the any easier ones I'll do as well. So I don't mind it being added on to the list of dailies I should do every day, and it's something you can do. But I don't want to necessarily burn out either. So for me personally, I might have to decide which dailies I do. But I don't want I don't want it to be an extravagant amount of dailies that they add into the game per se.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure if I'm conveying that properly, but
and I see chat saying, we already have dailies in Bloodstone Fen, which they did have that list where it's like it only really appears when you go to Bloodstone Fen, which I'm curious of how the map, like, is the map always going to have everyday empty hearts? Because I'm going to always, as a person that likes to do 100% map completion, and I'm sure other people, it's like when they see that empty heart, they might feel more obligated to do that every day.
yeah.
Now, I wonder if it's going to be the situation like maybe when you go there, it'll show the hearts then, and maybe not on the world map as a whole. But it's like if I see an empty heart, I don't think it's going to show up in the checklist because that would just be cruel. But seeing on the
Yeah,
map, I would still be like, oh, I gotta go there.
because it's kind of like it's what cause they redid dailies and they took out monthlies because they found people were doing all the dailies every day, and all the monthlies every month. So I don't. They did it for achievement points, but this is for like rewards and stuff, which is I think a little bit more lucrative than achievement points. I don't know. I guess that depends on the person, but I I don't want to necessarily burn myself out on dailies. But again, I guess myself.
Yeah,
I have
and I
to
do
have
want to
self-control.
clarify because I see chat saying like they're pretty sure hearts won't count towards map completion. Yeah, I would imagine not because none of the other stuff has that they've added in the past. But what I'm saying is, in the past when they have added stuff, they will show those as missing POIs or heart, like in this case hearts.
Yeah.
Seeing that, it still makes me want to complete it. So my checklist is true, maybe truly 100%, but it's not
Yeah.
like I don't think they're going to take away people's stars, but yeah, it would hurt every time like, one or if there's two hearts in there, you know, mine, I have two missing hearts that I'm never going to fill truly. It's
Yeah.
so
For map completion of Ember Bay, it's probably going to be the same as Bloodstone Fen, but the hearts are going to be not part of the map completion. It'll just be, hey, if it's empty, that means you can do it. Complete your daily. Yay!
yeah.
It was a weak yay, but
Also, they said that there's a new boss that's supposedly beating the Molten Dominator opens up a special area of the map. So I'm curious what that's gonna be. Maybe I don't know. Speculating Molten Dominator almost sounds either Primordius based or some kind of weird thing that's going on there, like some kind of weird monster that's now over there that maybe has something to do with the magic. But maybe inside of it, maybe we'll go into like one of the volcanoes. I mean, apparently
yeah.
gliding is going to be enabled here, like of course, like everywhere else. So maybe we have to glide through these places, or
I think it'll be kind of like how Orc Basin, you beat the meta and you go underground into all those little caverns and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I think it might be kind of like that, but never know.
So like
Never
another
know.
loot cave.
Yeah, because
Smash and grab what
I
you
don't
can.
I don't think they'll lock things behind those type of events anymore. So I think it might be a loot cave, which
Okay.
you know
Yeah, that's probably a
that'd be,
smart way to go about it.
yeah.
Let's talk about like maybe before we get to like what items they have from some of the reports have told us and all the other stuff. Let's talk about like maybe what could we expect with like the possibility of the Ember Bay and the Ring of Fire, which I showed this image before. I do have a closer image. You can kind of see this is thanks to that Shaman's interactive map that overlays Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. A closer look at it, you can kind of see like the white areas are kind of the zones of Guild Wars 1 over top of the Guild Wars 2 map. So unless this is the map is changing on patch day, it really doesn't overlay very nicely comparatively, but also like we said, this could be 250 years later where maybe the water rose, the land could have just shifted. I mean, that That's a pretty violent
Mhm.
shift according like compared to like Earth, but we don't know Tyria. Maybe it's you know.
Yeah, I can guarantee one thing that you'll see in Ember Bay. That's fire. Lots and lots of fire and lava.
I won't
Yeah.
lie. I was excited when they said that because I think they just did say like there would be like water of course and like fire. Made me think of what's the map with the mini dungeon in the Char area that has the Asuran lab?
Vex's love?
Yeah, what zone is that? Burning
Uh,
Steps,
no.
or is that
That's
that's WoW? That Blaze Ridge
wow.
Steps. I
Yeah,
honestly, yeah,
lasers.
that's Blaze Ridge. Sorry, but there's like I think when you go to like where the entrance of that is, where the lava's meeting, like running off into the water, and like I sometimes when I go there, I will stare at that because it looks so beautifully done. Like I'm hoping to see like more of that there, which
Oh
granted means
yeah,
I won't get
that's
anything
yeah,
done. Maybe one of the hearts will be just
definitely.
stare at that for like 5 minutes and you'll get a point. Then I'm game. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that sounds easy enough.
but I think they also said in the MMORPG article that uh, there would also be a Mersat, um, I think temple there, or like something dedicated to like the Mersat that were there. Which in Guild Wars One, for people that don't know, in Prophecies, that's the one reason why we go to the Ring of Fire, is to pursue the Mersat and deal with the big baddie. But basically, they're there trying to keep the door of Kamali shut. Which, for that's one of the most interesting things is the door of Kamali. Let's let's just try to keep us in the realm of Guild Wars One prophecies because if we get into this, it's going to be we're saving that probably for after show and we'll talk more about that. So don't worry. Um, the door of Kamali was meant to be kept shut because behind there was basically something that was the Mersat heard was going to be their untold doing, which was the Titans.
Hmm.
And so basically, they were just trying to keep that shut. And granted, we kind of screwed that up as the human player character. We went there, we defeated Mersat, and there's a couple areas where there's like strongholds and stuff. I wonder if we're going to see those. I really hope so, but granted, this has also been on a volcano, basically islands that have volcanoes that have had eruptions and all that kind of stuff. So who knows what's buried? Who knows what's you know actually be able to be seen? But
Yeah, I and just to talk about what's going on in chat. Um, Ring of Fire. Well, the Ring of Fire itself. It's kind of hot. Not. No, I won't make that joke. Um, it's kind of a volcano-ish kind of area. At least Single Wars when it was. So there was quite a bit of fire lava. There was also a bit of different dark rock surfaces, so it wasn't necessarily all just fire and lava. Um, and it could have changed over the years, so there could be some different things, but I'm not really expecting any like grass anywhere.
I'll say like the bottom of Mount Maelstrom is probably the closest in game. That's a good point. Chat's
Pretty
making.
much, yeah. Pretty much kind of like how Mount Maelstrom is. That little camp there at the south of Mount Maelstrom. That's what I'm expecting, but on a larger scale. Um,
And I think I heard one of the articles actually talking about like if you've been in Guild Wars One, like it seems like there's like almost like skull faces in the rocks, whether that was carved, naturally designed somehow, through magic or whatever they want to. But um, they said that that skull theme kind of continues into here. So I guess we're gonna see
mm,
like skull faces in the rocks and stuff like that as well.
yeah. What was that in Guild Wars 1? I think it was, but I don't think it was Ring of Fire.
What's that?
Can't remember. Like skulls of like just carved skulls into rock surfaces.
Well, it wasn't like exactly carved. It was like it's almost like it was molded like that. It's like I was trying to say
Yeah,
carved because maybe someone did do it while they were down there, but
naturally molded
yeah,
into. I
because
think there was in Guild Wars 1, but I just don't remember where. I don't think it was in Ring of Fire though. But I'll look
well,
at
I was
that
gonna
later.
say if you go to also the guild hall that you can preview in Guild Wars 1 there, you can walk around there a lot freer, and there is one that's themed after the Ring of Fire. So,
Oh,
and there are definitely like skull faces, and like I said, it's almost like a rock that looks like a skull instead of like a carved skull. So that's,
hmm.
but yeah,
All right.
look forward to 2 weeks. I trust me, I am excited. But for people that aren't excited just about the possibilities of the lore, let's talk about the new items that supposedly are coming. There's going to be a Skritt contract. Summon a Skritt that digs through piles of junk to find treasure. So we have a junk eater, basically, now it seems like.
Hmm.
Which, I don't know, I usually just sell junk, so maybe curious to see what comes out of it.
Oh,
Also, they said and this is important, new in-game earnable weapons, weapon shoulder and helm, and also from MMO Hut, they actually said, and I'm curious about this. Get ready to collect new carnival weapon sets. More details coming later this month.
carnival weapon sets.
So, yeah, I'm kind of curious if this is like a maybe carnival weapons is maybe more of a hint towards Halloween-ish, or maybe another in-game festival. But
Maybe. I. Hmm.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure if both these are related, but since they were both in like this like similar articles of the Ring of Fire stuff, I'm curious if this is going to be part of the Ring of Fire, which who knows? The consortium like buying dangerous territory and trying to make something out of it. Maybe they took South Sun, try to make it a vacation ground. Maybe they'll take Ring of Fire and try to make it a entertainment park or amusement park.
Yeah, I don't know. That's actually a good question because when you say carnival, it could mean a special event like Halloween or something like that.
Yeah,
But
so I'm
if
very
it's just like
curious.
a
Apparently,
yeah.
we'll know later this month, so there's even more stuff to come past the 20th. But, uh, and, also a great thing is PvP is getting some love in the 20th patch, in the September 20th patch, yeah. So we have the Eternal Colosseum. Uh, from the MMO Huts article, they actually said it was modeled after the Roman Colosseum, like similar. Uh, but also a lot of ramps and towers to battle it out on varying levels, which that's definitely interesting.
Thief
I,
map.
they did say there's hard to reach capture points with large enough open spaces. I can't even imagine, and unfortunately, no one has like screenshots of these, but we'll be able to hopefully tell you a way where you can see it maybe a little earlier than playing it. Uh, But let's talk about the map mechanics. So there are two objectives you can capture. One is apparently the Sword of Reaping, a 90-second boon offering a 20% damage boost, as well as a Grim Reaper summon that will down opponents, or that and kill off their second win. So basically,
Basically, it's a function gyro.
yeah, it's an everybody gets
That's
a function gyro type thing. So enjoy that.
that's oh ah
Also, a more defensive one, the Shield of Life. You get extra health, which they listed as 5,000 hit points, and shielding, which looks like increased toughness. It seems like plus one revive if downed, and that's while you're under its protection.
wow.
So yeah, that those two look like
That's
they're definitely table turners type thing, which I'm very interested in.
I need that shield of life. I could run berserker thief.
That is a good question. What chat's bringing up, like in age since you've PvP'd a lot more than me, and probably know the competitive scene a lot better. How do you feel about this as a competitive map? Do you think it's a viable one?
I can't say until I played it. Um,
or let alone
what I
see it.
say, but yeah, it really comes down to the extra map mechanics because usually conquest maps are just 3 points. The maps are kind of different on each sides, but are like evenly parallel in terms of how to get to objectives and things like that. It really comes down to what the map mechanics are, the extra map mechanics are. These sound really strong, like 500 HP for a Shield of Life. That's really strong. Um, a function gyro for everyone. 20% damage boost for the sword. That sounds really strong. I and it seems like this type of map, you actually really want to go for those type of map objectives. You really want to fight over those objectives, which could make PvP more interesting in terms of, because Battle of Kylo, no one really goes for Trebuchet. Forest and Evil Hell, no one really goes for Beast unless you want to like get those 25 extra points to secure a win. Um, uh, the Legacy of Full Fire, no one really goes for Lord unless it's to secure a win, or if you're behind and you're just hit like 300 points, you need that extra. 350 points, you need that extra points to secure a win. So
So it's
it
like a
seems
last-ditch
like,
effort type thing, or
yeah. So basically, it's usually you use it at first, see what you get out of it, or you use it as like kind of a last-ditch effort to secure some points for a win. Um, these types of mechanics, it seems like ArenaNet wants you to actually, fight over them.
like maintain them
Uh,
throughout the whole match instead of like a Hail
yeah,
Mary type thing, out of
pretty
nowhere
much.
comeback.
Because if you let a team get one or both of those, that is really powerful for that team. I don't know how long they last for. 90 seconds, boon offering.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't see anything
yeah, a
about the
minute.
Shield of Life. I'm gonna guess maybe around 90 seconds is like the Sword of Reaping,
Yeah,
but
I'll
I
guess like
haven't
that.
heard anything about the time on that one.
Yeah, and they might be on like 3 minute timers. I'm not sure, but they're just really either one of those are just really strong. So I would, yeah, it's definitely something you want to get, and if that is added in competitive, it's a real, it's a different way of playing, that's for sure, and they just seem really strong to be for a competitive map.
And
I'll
this is
have to
probably
see.
still
They might,
in the testing phase. Who knows what's gonna become
yeah,
at launch, and who knows what's gonna come of it after launch once people start, using it. They could
they'll
become a lot less. So
they'll probably tone some of those numbers down a bit. I honestly can't say right now. I guess it doesn't seem like it'll be a competitive map right now. It's a good, different map to play on, but for competitive, I don't, I can't say. But
yeah,
I'm leaning
it's
towards
very
no right
hard.
now.
But maybe we'll
I'm,
have a little bit of a better insight, uh, uh, because supposedly, first footage of the map will be shown at the Pro League World Championship, which for people who don't know is on September 17th. You can watch it through the Guild Wars 2 official Twitch channel. Uh, but
mm,
it was kind of funny. I was looking at the MMO Huts article, and when they talked about the Sword of Reaping, and they said it was a 90. The way they put it was 90s for 90-second boon. I read it as a 90s boon. I was like, in my head, I was like thinking like, all of a sudden everybody gets like a Furby or something. But but
nice. Oh,
but
I'll answer that real quick. So
okay.
Rated Capricorn is ready for competitive. Um, I honestly have only been playing ranked, so I have not tried Rated Capricorn yet. I plan to actually do that sometime next week. But from what I've heard, there's a few line of sight issues. I'm not sure about the map mechanics, but it seems like the map is had some issues on moving to objectives on both sides of the map. Like one side would have an advantage over another side for some reason, or vice versa. So I'm not sure if it's just ready yet. So I'm not sure if it. I don't think it's ready just yet. So we'll see. I'll see personally what needs to be done when I actually get on that map. But I guess I'm leaning no for now, from what I've just seen and heard.
Yeah, that is a good point that chat's also making. Is they did also say this week that the Raid of Capricorn achievements out of there were leaving October 3rd, I believe. So definitely get out there, and if you want those achievements, go out and get them before it switches over. But also in the MMO Hut article, they did say at like near the end, keep an eye on the Guild Wars 2 YouTube page sometime on September 13th, which is Tuesday, for a big glimpse of all of this and more. So I'm assuming that is in a reference to there's going to be a teaser trailer, which sure enough, next week you can assure that if there's stuff to pick apart, we'll probably be doing that next week. So once again, if it's Ring of Fire related, I look forward to it. Yeah, but then this time I'll have AC. I was very tempted when they announced Ring of Fire this week. I was going to say Arena is in cahoots with my AC system because I feel like I'm at the Ring of Fire right now. Like, ugh.
I feel like we can edit that so that now you've said it.
Way to go, Arena, ruining my AC. But let's expand a little bit more on the Ring of Fire stuff, lore-wise, since we talked about all that we know that's going to be there. So the Ring of Fire, like I said before, prophecies, all that stuff. But the interesting part is, like I said, the door Kamali that the Mersat were trying to keep closed to keep the Titans out, that leads to the Realm of Torment, specifically the what is it? Factory of Failed Creations? Something of Failed Creations. Now I'm blanking on the name. Foundry of Failed Creations. Sorry. And this is where Abaddon was manufacturing different like demon type things and the Titans themselves, which you know, that is what the Mersat were trying to keep out, which in the end we opened the thing, chased the Mersat away, all that fun stuff, and basically with that at the end we fight the wow, we were talking about WoW before the show with the expansion and stuff. I almost said we were fighting the Lich King. We find out that someone that we talked to previously was it Lich Lord Lich? I'm blanking on the name. Sorry, I'm really hot.
It's okay. Undead Lich, man.
Undead
It's
Lich.
okay.
Yes, sorry. Well, he felt like a lord to me.
You're on a roll.
Yes, the Undead Lich. So he was kind of the big baddie of prophecies, but we find out later, throughout Nightfall, he was actually one of the generals of Abaddon's. So, and we find out that everything was Abaddon's master plan to get all this stuff rolling in motion. That's kind of the very overarching thing of Guild Wars 1. And then we lead into Eye of the North, which kind of leads into Guild Wars 2. But
Always goes back. Always.
It is.
Anyway, continue.
No, it always does. But
I'm just saying.
But what could be interesting there that's still pertaining to the Ring of Fire and probably the Foundry of Failed Creations. Like I said, the Realm of Torment is part of the Foundry of Failed Creations. Also, what's in the Realm of Torment? It's a place, I think we talked about it before with one of my other theories, Ravenheart Gloom, which for people that don't know, during Guild Wars 1, it was a battlefield between the Order Whispers and the forces of Malix the Unyielding, which Malix the Unyielding was another general of Abaddon's that was fighting and stuff, and basically a whole alliance between Doom, Abaddon and Mingus. Uh, but yeah, so that's the whole thing. But the interesting part of the Ravenheart Gloom, the reason they were fighting over it, utilizing the former Chaos Rifts leading to Tyria, Alona, and elsewhere. Which I've said this in the past. Now 250 years later, and what we know from Guild Wars 1, when we defeated Abaddon, Cormier stepped in place, and supposedly the Realm of Torment might change. We don't know. Like, we all assume it was. So if this is a supposedly safer place, so I would assume Ravenheart Gloom, that's part of the Realm of Torment, which maybe now the Order Whispers controls, and maybe this is how Order Whispers has always been getting to Alona, because they always said that they had some way to get there, but they never told anybody.
Okay.
So this might be one way, but this might also be a way of how possibly Ritlock got a roundabout way to get to the Ring of Fire Islands, which, if you're asking why, it's because Sohothan. Sohothan is Ritlock's sword, and previously was the sword of the one of the Ascalonian princes, Prince Rurik, which in Guild Wars 1, he unfortunately finally died at the Ring of Fire. So, as far as we know, that's the last known location that the players know before it got to Ritlock's hands, that it was there. So, in my mind, if this has been a safer place, maybe Ritlock seeked out the Order Whispers, went in there, maybe instead of hanging a right, he hung a left and went back to the Foundry of Failed Creations, or whatever it's called now, somehow through the door of Kamali to get out there and pick up the
I never really
sword.
thought about that, eh? Huh. Nice. I've honestly never thought about how Ritlock got to Hothan in the first place, and
Yeah, that's the other big thing that people are hoping for with going to the Ring of Fire, because, like we said, this is the last place we know Sohothan's been. Ritlock's got a lot to tell us. Like, spill the beans, Ritlock, finally.
yeah. Yeah, that could be really interesting. It leads into it because it leads into like one how he got Suhathan, and it kind of leads to that discussion of, well, since we're on the topic of how you got stuff, like how did you become a revenant?
Speaking of
and all
keeping
that
things
stuff.
from us, we got a list.
Yeah, so that could be very interesting. It could be nice story-wise. Huh.
Yeah, so there is definitely history, like I said, with the Dor Kamali, with the Marsat there, but people are trying to figure out why would basically in Guild Wars 1, the Marsat were there as a preventative measure. Why would Lazarus, who in episode 1 you find out is back, why would he want to go there? Well, there is a bloodstone down there. Of course there is. So, if he's supposedly doing things with the bloodstones, which definitely does seem like he is, he might want to be heading there for that reason. So, and I think that'll be interesting to see if somehow he flinches, if we get to see him somehow flinch, because this is a very dark moment for the Marsat themselves in their history. This is where the start of their race got wiped out. I mean, so it'd be kind of cool if somehow during one of the stories we actually got to see almost, I don't want to say a human side, but almost a more neutral side of a Marsat feeling or something, If they do, I don't know.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Also interesting if Lazarus is just going how many followers he's going to get versus how many will follow Catechus, and if that will be any relevance for this next part in the story. That's going to be very good.
Yeah, that will be pretty interesting. Maybe that's what the thing is. Ring of Fire is for Lazarus's followers. The carnival weapons, that's more Catechus's. He's like, hey, we'll throw on a party. I mean, he still has that shooting gallery reserved for himself in Divinity's Reach. That jerk.
It's true.
Just want to do the shooting gallery in Divinity's Reach. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm.
But let us move on. But before we do have more lore stuff. We're actually going to try to keep this as close to the story that supposedly might be coming out, because the theory that I have that we'll do after the show, uh, it starts to extrapolate even further out. So I definitely want to keep this kind of in the realm of what we're going to be seeing in the next 2-ish weeks. But if you stick around for the after show, we'll go further with the lore and possibilities. I'd love to hear Chat's own theories. But if you're wondering, oh crap, I'm watching this on YouTube, we're definitely going to record it, and we'll probably put it up as a separate episode, like type of one-off episode. So definitely keep your eyes out for that this week. But like I said, we just wanted to keep it more news oriented. So let us move on to speaking of things that have been lost or mysteries, like Ritlock's sword, where was he between season 2, all of season 2 and stuff. Another mystery's been solved. Where is Colin Johanson? What it was, a couple months ago we talked about how Colin Johanson stepped down as the lead and stuff like that, and it's now been reported that Colin Johanson has, through his LinkedIn and all that stuff, is now working at Amazon Game Studios. And supposedly, Amazon Game Studios will be announcing what project or projects they are currently in development on September 29th. So definitely look forward to hearing that, especially because there are a good handful of former Arena employees that have specifically gone to Amazon Game Studios. So maybe it's another MMO, or in the similar vein of Guild Wars S type thing. So a lot of talent that I loved about that I love about Guild Wars. Luckily, Guild Arena was able to maintain that, in my opinion. But a lot of people that started it, seemed like they went to Amazon Game Studios. So I'm hoping, the way I look at it is I might get 2 games I really, really love and enjoy. So I'm excited. So, what are your thoughts?
Oh, that's kind of cool. It's gonna be really interesting what they make. I know Amazon has a game engine called Lumberyard. I've wanted to mess around with it, but I just haven't had a chance to yet. It looks pretty good. It looks like you could make RPGs out of it, but the potential could be way out there. I don't know if it'll be. I'm more leaning on some sort of RPG type of game. MMOs are kind of, yeah. Maxat says it. Hope it's on MMO. Market's too saturated. Those already. I'm thinking it's not going to be an MMO, but I could be wrong. But the reason I think it's not going to be an MMO is just because the way games have been trending is now people have a limited amount of game time a night to play games, or even a week to play games. So MMOs haven't been. MMOs don't really give you that much, just because there's so much to do. So unless the MMO that Amazon makes allows you to play 2 hours a night or something like that, and still be able to keep up in that regard, I think it'll be more on the lines of some sort of RPG or something like that. But probably some sort of single player game, or maybe some RPG with online elements. I don't know. That's what usually comes out these days. So something like that, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what I'm making.
Yeah, and while I am a fan of MMOs, it is one of those glaring things of it seems like MMOs are a bit on the I don't want to say downcline, like downcline or decline. Wow, downcline. Jeez, my brain is not working today. But it might also just be because it is so saturated right now, like chat was saying.
Yeah. If it was gonna be an MMO, it honestly I would feel like if it's an MMO, it has to allow for it to be playable in like the now times of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, you can't spend hours and hours playing. If it requires hours and hours of playing, then it's not really uh, an MMO that I can pick up right now because I have Guild Wars 2. I might try ESO in like next week or so because I I wanted to buy well, that's another story for another time. Anyway, it could be a type of game like Overwatch where you spend a couple hours playing matches or things like that. Like that's what's in right now. Games that you can spend a few hours in, have some fun, put it down and come back later. So.
Yeah, heck, they might go the route of if they go the route of what looks like Master X Master is gonna be, where it has like that MOBA element, but also has supposedly a single player, almost like a like action RPG Diablo-esque type thing. If they do something like that with some of those people that are at that went to Amazon Game Studios, I mean, oh boy, I
Yeah.
oh man, I'll be happy because while you can play the or MOBA part, I will play the action
The
RPGs
dungeon
type part.
crawler
Yeah, the
part.
dungeon crawler part.
I would, I'd love to play Ritlock in a dungeon crawler.
Well, when Master X Master will come out, you'll be able to.
That's fun. Yeah.
That's where he'll be going. Maybe one of the dungeons will be the Foundry of Failed Creations.
Haha.
But like you said about gaming, more limited times. Speaking of limited times, WvW Skirmishes are in. So we've talked about this in the past, and they finally put them out. Basically, it's a new way to do the scoring system. It determines a winner of each skirmish, and each skirmish is a 2-hour slice throughout the week, and then it awards victory points, which determines the match victor for the week. So basically, it now enables for easier comebacks. Like servers aren't going to pull like 100,000 points ahead and kind of dominate the week. It kind of makes the matches seem a little bit closer. So the way the victory points are in the 2-hour chunk, if the server gets first, they'll get 3 points, second 2 points, and third 1 point. So, and the
Yeah.
important thing to note that it's not like it's going to be like 2-hour matches in between, like throughout this whole week. So say if your guild or your server captures a bunch of stuff, that does carry over the next 2 hours. That's the important thing to note. Like it doesn't reset everybody again.
Yeah.
So you can still maintain the stuff, but it's not going to be the points aren't going to be so far apart, which is good.
Yeah. I I like the idea of it. Like I like how servers are relevant throughout the entire week and not just one falls off and it's just between two, or it's just like one server just totally dominating. So last I checked, I think it was 10 hours into the new matchup, and my server was winning by like 1 point. So
Which
yeah,
before that it
that's
was
how
probably
close.
like 100,000 or well,
Well,
probably at that
10
time it'd
hours
be
in,
like
it'd be like
yeah
probably tens of thousands, like maybe
yeah
30,000 points, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, it's way closer than it usually was. But um, let's see if we get different results and wins and stuff like that. So that'd be really cool to see.
oh yeah. Chat's saying Yak spent 6 points up on their server. So yeah, so it seems like it's a lot closer of games, which but it still has the potential for people to run away with it. I mean, like I said, the thing doesn't reset. So if that server in first continues to hold it, they could very well get 6
Yeah.
points in the first 4 hours. But it does keep it a lot more tight knit. And problem with it right now, in the sense of talking about and reviewing it, it's one of those things that should be looked at after a week. Which unfortunately it came out on Tuesday, or no, did it come out? Yeah, it came out on Tuesday, but that was like half of a week for them to implement it. But it kind of officially, you could kind of start looking at it this Friday when everything reset. Which unfortunately we record this on Saturdays, so we're only as Age said, 10 hours. So
Yeah. For the skirmishes, there'll be different scoring during non-prime and more points on the last day of the match. So not all the scoring things are in just yet. They're still they're still working on adding the scoring features in like much smaller patches, so that it gradually gets to that point. The skirmishes should mitigate some of the off-hours stuff because the points are going to be a lot closer. Just because the margin of points is going to be a lot closer as well. So it's between 1 and 3 points every 2 hours. So it's going to be a lot closer, even if off hours was a thing that was putting a server ahead. But yeah, for the last day of the match, I forgot what it was called, the final stand or something like that. But that's probably going to be added in a future patch later down the road.
yeah, and speaking of like that, like they kind of said next on the list is going to be more scoring features released in smaller pieces. Ideally, the next thing, if the skirmish system goes well. So definitely, if you are enjoying it, or people in your guild that are enjoying it, tell them to go to the servers or the forums and let them know. They are definitely trying to keep track of. So if this doesn't go well, then they'll try to figure out a different way. But if it is going well, they want to continue with it, and they want to actually kind of, the next thing is to possibly give upgrade objectives more war score, which is the score during the 2 hour increments based on their upgrade level. So that really incentivizes keeping things, which I think is definitely a good thing. It adds that element of defense, and maybe you see another server that's like, oh man, they got they're getting high on their upgrades, let's take them out. So hopefully it won't just be the rotating merry-go-round.
Yeah.
So like I said, biggest thing, go out and voice your opinion on the forums. They are definitely watching. Let us go to the Gemstore. So Gemstore this week, we got a new thing and a lot of returning stuff. So first new thing was the Dragon Dagger skin, and always thank you to Dolphy. You can spend your gems wisely. So you can see there the first picture, and on the top picture is the sheathed one and also the wielded one. So the Dragon Dagger skin is 600 gems. As you can see in that one photo, there is a green trail when you run or attack. And as we're recording this right now, it is only available for 4 more days, so until next Tuesday. So go pick it up if you like it. I'm very tempted to go pick this up. I mean, especially with some of the other stuff that's returned, could very well go nice together with it. You'll see later when we talk about the Shadow Assassin outfit. Kind of has a nice little assassin look to it.
I kind of like the trail that goes with it. It go well with my Necro. I don't remember commas being held that way, though.
That is what chat's saying, that it's held the wrong way. And I think that just is because that's how... I mean, theoretically, if they held them, where the point would be sticking upward, because none of the daggers in the game, they always hold them out of their back of their hand type thing. So unfortunately, that's how it mapped. Hopefully they go back and correct that, visually, because yeah, it does swing it the wrong way.
Yeah. But
But they have made changes in the past, and
I
chat's even saying that
maybe.
the Reaper of Souls one that they put in, which was like the sickle ones,
Oh, okay.
they actually made those go, upright, and so hopefully that was just them quickly throwing it in and possibly not checking, because yeah, it swings the wrong way. It looks awesome, but that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And I mean, they have gone in the past and tweaked the little things on the Gemstore. So if you are even slightly intrigued by this, I can't guarantee that they're gonna fix it, but I mean they've done it with the wings and stuff like that in the past of
Mm,
fluidity. So they have gone back and tried to touch things up. So, but you know, it is 600 gems. So like I said, I think it's definitely interesting. Unfortunately, at this current point, yeah, you are holding it wrong.
yeah.
And also you can see there the wide rim glasses, 150 gems, also only here till next Tuesday, so go pick them up. If you need to complete that back to school look, or, I think I saw someone, I wish I would have grabbed the picture, I just thought of it now. I think someone made a Thelma cosplay, Scooby-Doo Thelma cosplay in game,
Um,
and had those glasses, and I was like
Lighting
they were pretty good.
glasses.
Nice. Oh, look, Age got him in real life. But yeah, definitely pick those up. If you want some wider rim glasses, and they are an armor piece, so they will go with your armor, not outfits, unfortunately. And yeah, Chad is also saying this is one of those returning items. They haven't been in the gem store since the 2013. So if you
Yeah,
want
that's a
these, they were
really
kind of,
old.
yeah, they were kind of like on the same lines as the rabbit ears. I mean, that so many
Yeah.
people went after. So who
I
knows when they'll come back
honest,
next time?
I honestly never knew those existed before.
I was
Wow.
gonna say a lot of people didn't. I think when we were talking with some people in our guild, they were like, "Oh no, weren't those just like data mined one time?" Which the only thing that was data mined that's like similar in that vein were like school outfits or something, like way
Mm,
back early on. But these were actually in the game along with the aviators and all that stuff. So
wow.
yeah, so definitely pick those up if you want them.
Oh, there were town clothes?
Um, the well, back when the data
Oh,
mined
okay.
outfit, like
That
since they
makes
didn't have outfits then in that sense.
that makes sense. Because I've never ever seen these glasses before. I've only heard about bunny ears. Haven't really seen those either, but until they actually put them on sale again, you saw a bunch of people
Yeah,
with
now
them.
that they converted them to armor pieces, now they're probably more sought after than the town
Yeah,
clothes
cool.
item were, since you couldn't battle in town clothes originally. But other things that came in, total makeover kit and 5 transmutation charges for 350 gems. Also, a lot of stuff. So you can see at the top there the Flame Kiss light armor skin, the Flame Walker medium armor skin, the Flame Wrath heavy armor skin is going to be in that first panel right there. All for 800 gems. It's the light, medium, and heavy. So these are armor pieces. Get them all as a set. Uh, the armor that you get, it counts as you can use that the first time for free as a transmutation. Otherwise, every other time you have to use a transmutation charge. The second panel right there is the Trickster light armor, Viper's medium armor, and Phalanx heavy armor skin for 800 gems a piece. Once again, armor pieces still same way the previous ones operated. That third panel is the Jungle Explorer outfit and the Shadow Assassin outfit. So remember, these are outfits. They're all or nothing. You can hide the helmet for 700 gems, and this is that one, the Shadow Assassin outfit. Might go good with those Dragon Kama daggers. Who knows? Uh,
Mm.
Also, you can see down there the Fuzzy Cat hat, the Fuzzy Hylic hat, both in there for 200 gems. Glint's Gaze mask, which is those blue eyes, 500 gems. Inventor's sunglasses, those circular sunglasses, and you can dye the rims on those, just so you know, for 150 gems. And Magnus's eye patch for 400 gems. Now that does include both an eye patch for the left eye and an eye patch for the right eye. So you do get 2 skins out of that. You can't wear them at the same time. Be weird, but I would like that as an option. The Mask of the Jubilee, 400 gems. Mask of the Silent Skin, 500 gems. And the Mist Herald back item skin set for 500 gems. And I believe all these are also going away next Tuesday, so go pick them up if you find anything you like in there. And honestly, this is this is one of my recommendations, since both of these items are returning. This is one thing I was actually originally going to go for with my Revenant, but because sometimes I'll actually, if you don't know of a website, it's gww2style.com. Sometimes I'll just surf those for like ideas, but I love this one so much I was actually going to make it my outfit, and it does use the Phalanx heavy armor set and the Magnus's eye patch, and then I think a couple pieces and stuff you can also get in game, but the stuff that you'd have to get out of the Gemstore are actually back for the next 4 days. And like I said, here's a picture of it. All credit goes to Aerik, Aerik, on gww2style.com. But like, I thought it was an awesome implement. Like, you could probably put that on a warrior easily with that dye job. You know, like I said, I was gonna do it for my Revenant. You know, like it's a good combination, awesome. And like I said, all credit to them. I saw that, I was like, because as I go around there, I'll be like, I'd like to change a couple things. I looked at it, I was like, that is just awesome. Like,
yeah, I really like how the armor shines, and like it looks like he caught it on like a different glare. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the only thing it doesn't use is Phalanx, like besides the helmet, which is, like I said, the Magnus eye patch, which, like I said, those 2 things are here. I think it's the pants that are. Yeah. I think it's the Norn cultural. I think it's like stag or something like that. But
yeah, that's Norn cultural.
Yeah, chat saying you need the beard to pull it off. Well, that's why I gotta go Norn. But it looks pretty similar, like on like the human and like the Sylvari. But of course, I play Norn. You know, gotta love Norn. But
I think,
like I said, if you're trying to look for ideas, either go to GW2 Style. Maybe one of these armor skins are there, but this is my recommendation. This is one of the ones that I was originally going after, and then I went really weird with it. But
I think I may have inadvertently made that look. I'm just checking.
Aerik, or I probably butchering the person's name on, but
I used different gauntlets and a different chest piece, but the rest is pretty much the same. I used the Bloodstone Visage for the eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a similar look, but
yeah.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah, it's always fun playing dress up and looking at other people's dressing up. But some more returning items. So we have the Home Portal Stone for 765 gems, 15% off. Out of Dance Volume 1, 260 gems, 35% off. Basically, that's a book that it's kind of fun if you have, you know, gems burning a hole in your pocket. Basically, you get a couple dance moves, but then you can also invite people to dance with you, and then they get those moves, so you can kind of create a dance party. It's a pretty fun little, you know, tool.
I'm still waiting on more volumes.
Yeah, that I would like more little gimmicky stuff. I'm still waiting for some more bundle items, like the water balloon bucket. More of those. But some of the other stuff that returned, the Mad Scientist outfit, which you can see there, 560 gems, 20% off. And also the Mad Scientist mining tool, Mad Scientist harvesting tool, and Mad Scientist logging tool, all 800 gems a piece, 20% off from the original price. So, you know, these are the, you know, mining tool or gathering tools that they're account bound. You can switch them between your characters, and they will never run out, and they always mine the, you know, top quality, so you don't have to worry about ever upgrading your mining pick. As all the Gemstore ones are, but at this time there are 800 gems, which used to be the original price for the ones that weren't account bound. So if you're not fussy about the look, I mean, still I think these ones are pretty cool. It's like shoots out like a laser beam, and you mine it that way. But yeah, if you like them or aren't picky about the look of it and just want the usefulness of them, you can pick these up for the like how they used to be priced at 800 gems when they were less convenient. So definitely pick those up if you are interested. But so would you be picking any of these things up that have returned, that have intrigued you?
Maybe some of the flame stuff, the flame armor skins, might actually be complimentary for some things I want to make. The Magnus eye patch, I'm not sure if I have that. I gotta double check that. But that would be probably something I want. And the mask of the Glint's gaze mask. That's what I wanted. Because that was the green eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, I might pick that up.
Nice. Yeah, if anything, I might pick up Glint's gaze mask just because now that I kind of with my Revenant Herald kind of being like a soldier of Glint, like maybe that could be the alternate than the goofy dragon mask thing I have. But I also like the dragon mask because it's absolutely ridiculous. So we shall see, but curious if anybody else is considering picking up anything or maybe any recommendations. Definitely, love to hear chat's opinion, and also if you're watching this on YouTube, if you have any fashion tips for any of this stuff out here, definitely throw it out. But as I said, that's basically all of the stuff for this week. For people watching live, during the after show, we'll kind of delve more into the lore, and for YouTube, we will have a separate video out here. That way, this could still stay news, as much news as possible, and we'll have a separate one-off lore thing about where the story could go. But Age, where can you be found?
You okay?
Yeah, Age, where can you be found?
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I'm like, it sounded like it got cut off. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. I didn't stream a lot this week. I'll probably get back to it next week. Weddings wore me out, man. So yeah, I'll get back to it next week.
Cool. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter, and hopefully, I think I'm getting my AC fixed this week. So as you can probably see, I'm very sweaty. You probably don't want to see me streaming that on that long of time. So hopefully once that gets back in, I want to really kick streaming into butt. So but if you are watching this on Twitch and you're just popping in, like I said, after show we are doing a little lore thing. But if you want to watch the whole news program, we do throw this up on YouTube every Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you wanted to be part of the lore discussion live or during this news discussion, you can catch us every Saturday at twitch.tv/talkingskrit, every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And as always, we will see you in the game. Good night, everybody. Oh yeah, we also have a Twitter at TalkingSkrit.